The fact of the matter is, nothing will be considered good enough until these kids become parents themselves.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Brother Pill Podcast. And you know we the dynamic duo. We've been doing this for a long time. But I'm gonna let my co-host introduce himself. Go ahead, brother.
LAR movement, I'm still moving. I'm here. We gonna start it today. It's gonna go down. And y'all been asking for the Brother Pill for a good minute, so here you go.
We back. So give him a round of applause and check my brother out the first point at the top. So we're coming in on Father's Day, and again, we know that it's going to be this Sunday. I believe it's going to be is it the 20th or 19th?
19th.
It's going to be the 19th. All right, and we want to give a shout out to all of the Black fathers out there. Especially in our community that are out there. A lot of brothers have their own children. They help with other kids. They got step kids. You got brothers that help Black young men in boxing and football and basketball. I definitely benefited from a lot of Black men in my community that were not my dad, and so I will never talk down on those brothers. But I have noticed that there is a lot of disrespect that comes towards African American men, specifically when Father's Day comes. And I was telling you a little bit earlier, Jim Jones put out a pretty interesting rant on Instagram, basically about he's tired of fathers that are participating in their children's life getting disrespected and women taking credit for, being both mama and dad. But you wrote actually a book, we'll put it here on the screen, Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. And I want you guys to check it out there in Amazon because you are basically a goddamn expert on the situation. Why do Black fathers in our community, in the African American community, why are they getting a lack of respect from the community?
First and foremost, now I'm a custodial father, just so if anybody asks a question about the Father's Day, I'm gonna give it to you both ways.
Okay.
Here's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, where I'm at in Texas, in Houston, there was a 102.1, the radio station, the adult R&B old school station.
Right.
They did a thing with Ali Sadiq, the comedian, and Funky Larry Jones, the host. And they said, write in something about your father. And we're going to give people, like the top 3 or 5 people, $1,000. I'm driving home and Ali Sadiq is like, you mean to tell me ain't none of y'all got nothing good to say about y'all daddy? Where all these daddies girls at? Where all these ladies who love their fathers? Where all you fellas at whose dad was always down for you? Where all these what about the stepdaddies? What about the other men in your life? Y'all don't want to say nothing about them? Nothing? So the disrespect comes from a simple place. It comes from being entitled. Because when it's fathers and men, that's what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing counts.
Mm-hmm.
So and even when mom does it, it counts double time because she's giving from some altruistic, loving place that dad's not giving it from. Mm-hmm. Dad's not here because dad had to go to work. Well, yeah, dad had to go to work. Dad had to make sure you were straight. So what's the problem with that? Should the dad have stayed home with you? Because when mom goes to work, you don't have a problem with that. It's understood. Now, the other thing that comes to mind that sometimes is troubling is when a person like Jim Jones is saying it. Now you got street dudes who are in their kids' lives and are multi-millionaires, like y'all even disrespecting me now? What we doing? I was supposed to be your, the thug entrepreneur,
right.
He's the guy that, he's street and corporate, and now he's not doing anything for his own kids. And they're not he's doing stuff. But the fact of the matter is nothing will be considered good enough until these kids become parents themselves.
Mm. Say that again.
Nothing will be good enough until these kids become parents themselves. See,
Why do you say that?
because y'all don't know how much school costs when daddy paying for it. Y'all don't know how much your programs cost when daddy paying for it. Y'all don't know how much energy you using on your phone and your tablet and your TV and
Mm-hmm.
your fan and
Mm-hmm.
your nice
Mm-hmm.
air conditioning and y'all don't realize that because daddy paying for it. It just showed up in your life. See, when mom
Mm-hmm.
says it, when mom say, hey, these you eating me out of house and home.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, you respect when your mom says it because you
Mm-hmm.
feel like your mom might be suffering.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
y'all don't care if your daddy's suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care if your daddy suffers. You don't care if
Okay.
your dad works, 10, 12, 16-hour days
Mm-hmm.
in heat, or like if he's doing construction or if he's trucking, he's driving from coast to coast and he comes back on the weekend. You don't care that he's doing all that to make sure you straight. That don't count to you. You don't care, like I said, if he's working construction, he's working 16, 12s and 16s, and it's hot outside. And he's working in the middle of the night. You don't care. There are guys who are working graveyard shift, 12-hour days, whose kids eat better than their dads, and they're in the same household. Y'all not filling up them gas tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And look
Mm-hmm.
at the price of gas right now. Your daddy's
Yeah.
filling up them gas tanks.
Right. So let me let
And
me let me ask
if
you
if
this.
I
Can
may,
you just
okay,
go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Build it up, brother. Build it up.
okay, and if I may, for the fathers who aren't in the house, y'all don't care that he's not in the house, still providing for you in the house, while he's taking a loss at his house, and he's still providing for you over that too, because your mama ain't doing right with the money that he's providing to take care of you. So that's where I wanted to end it. My bad.
Okay. So let me ask you this because Jim Jones and other black men, because there is a lot of black fathers who are not married. Maybe they were married or divorced or have never been married. Okay. So the question I'm going to ask you is this: are a lot of black fathers getting a lot of disrespect because they're unmarried men? They have like baby mamas. Maybe they never was really in a relationship with the woman to begin with. Sometimes we know that happens. Or do you think that that would be different if these black fathers were married? Do you think that the unmarried fathers versus married fathers get a lack of respect? Are both groups, both married black men and unmarried black men, are getting the same disrespect as black fathers?
It's disrespect across the board.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a bachelor, it's disrespect because you're not with my mama. You ain't got why you not with my mama? You ain't got nobody anyways. If
Mm-hmm.
you single with a girlfriend, you can be happy with her, but you can't be happy with us. So it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
disrespect from that. And if you married,
Mm-hmm.
how can you have this nice happy home over here and we over here struggling?
Right.
But the but in reverse, when mama's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
single,
Mm-hmm.
you don't say nothing. But mama got a boyfriend,
Right.
you don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If mama got a husband, you don't say nothing but to boyfriend and husband. You ain't my daddy.
Right.
So it's disrespect all the way across the board, even to the boyfriend
Across
and
the board.
stepdaddy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let me kind of get, especially the stepdads, because I know that, shout out to the stepdads out there. This is in the manosphere communities and stuff like that, or in the red pill, they get talked down upon. But that's a real thankless task. Taking care of ungrateful kids that ain't kids. Kids are ungrateful when they're yours, but they damn sure ungrateful when they're not yours usually. And what I want to do is kind of get back to this because You had a situation that we talked about a long time ago. You put it in your book where you had was dealing with you're trying to actually have a relationship with your son, and then the mother was making it very, very difficult. And that is a category of a lot of black men where you have black men that are trying to have a relationship with their kids. They're trying to send them money, and the woman is receiving the money and then telling the kid that daddy don't care about you, don't receive money. But then when Father's Day comes, here she comes wanting praise for both things, both aspects. Do you believe that a lot of the hatred towards black fathers is basically just out of animosity because for whatever things happened in the past relationships between that particular father and the mother went through?
I think it's animosity and jealousy
Mm-hmm.
because, and this goes for the brothers who have to, who keep trucking along and keep going in a positive direction in life.
Mm-hmm.
There's animosity because the the baby mama family court parental alienation situation didn't break you, and there's
Okay.
jealousy if your life gets
Mm-hmm.
better, if even after that didn't break you.
Mm.
So it becomes a petty war that a lot of times guys aren't even in. Like
Mm-hmm.
if like if you're not in, if we're not in the same house
Right.
and you have an issue with me and we're not in the same house, something's wrong with you if you're trying to always affect what's going on in my house.
Right.
So the animosity is definitely there because you want these guys to suffer to the point that they lose everything that they have.
Right.
That's what, unfortunately, that's what it seems like what makes these type of mothers happy.
Okay.
All the praise, no responsibility.
Right.
Because if we're going to be completely honest about these situations,
Mm-hmm.
what winds up happening is even the mother side of the family gets tired of playing a replacement animosity jealousy game.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say that?
Because now, because they stop having a life to fill in for the daddy that they don't want around. And now part of the
Uh-huh.
jealousy is, part of the jealousy is it impedes on my life now. See, I
Right.
hate you because it didn't break you, but I'm jealous
Mm-hmm.
because you can still live your life after
Mm-hmm.
I tried to break you. But now I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck dealing with the consequences of I don't want you to be with your child.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the family got to
and
take
that's
care of the
why you
kid
the
and all
fellas,
that other stuff, and they providing for the kid. Oh, I never thought about it like that. Okay, that's really deep. Okay, just really deep. No, let
that's
me let
why
me
when
let me
you
kind of
guys,
go ahead. Go ahead. Build it up.
that's why you guys shouldn't be posting on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go out and you're happy and you go on vacation and you're doing good, now you didn't already did your part of the responsibility, but they're sitting there watching,
Mm.
and now they hate you more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a
Well,
lose-lose situation.
and it might be even interesting because I know situations. I don't have my own biological kids, but I know for a fact that we have women who have broken up with their baby's daddies. And I know one chick, she broke up with the dude. The dude was in firefighting school when she broke up with him. The dude was saying, "Listen, let's work it out. I still love you. Like, give me a chance." She's like, "No, fuck that. Like, we ain't together no more." She ended up getting with another dude that didn't have nothing going on. She's paying all the bills and all that stuff. Meanwhile, that particular guy went and became a full firefighter, I believe, like somewhere in the Bay Area, like Antioch, something like that. And so that dude started making like
Mm-hmm.
overtime, like 130, 140 grand a year. He then gets remarried buys a house in Pittsburgh, California, doing real good, right? The chick that now the particular female that broke up with him, life went completely downhill. Like broke, dusty, all the shit, right? And so now remember, she ended the relationship with this guy. And that dude is posting pictures of his new home, wife pregnant, another child on the way. Again, she's doing exactly what you said, watching social media, seeing the honeymoon, seeing the wedding, and dude, she is a ruthless mother effer towards, and the animosity is like on cloud nine. And she was bragging about the dude that she was actually trying to hurt the other guy. Like, I got me a new dude now, I'm so in love, basically trying to make him feel bad. That dude took that L. He took it. He took the L. He was heartbroken, all that. He didn't disrespect her. He said, baby, I really want to be with you and be with this guy. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna do me. That dude went and did good, man. She hates that. To this day, she hates this guy. And it's amazing because so many black men have been, it's like not like they left the chick left them, and their lives ended up being greater. And the woman is checking out their, and the dude did better without them.
Normal. That is so normal.
Said no.
That is so normal.
Yeah.
Like I know women just like that. I know a bunch of them. Why are you crying? If he'd have gave me a couple of years to get it together, I promise I wouldn't have been like this. No. I thought you said he was whack and he was lame. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hit the bottom of a tuna can. He was so small. Now all of a sudden, you miss him. He doing all of this for her and for them, and they look happy and they smiling. And now you eating used ramen noodles from a 50-cent store because you can't afford a dollar store, and it's supposed to be his fault.
Right. Right. Let me talk to you about this, because what I've noticed with a lot of and I'm not, obviously we talk about black women, you got to always mention not all, but what I've noticed is that there is a particular narrative that is out there about African American men, and it kind of revolves around this, this kind of teaching that, a lot of black men are deadbeat dads, and that, they don't care about their kids and stuff like that. And you have a lot of black fathers that may not be active in the relationship with a particular lady. And usually you may have a lady that may have more than one child by a different man. And it has been many times I have seen something like this, what I'm about to describe, happening. You will have a black father go get his kid, and then she has a baby by a guy who might be locked up or something, and that kid is missing his father. I've seen black fathers just say, you know what, you can come on with us too. Or when he brings food to the house, he'll bring the other son something. He'll bring shoes, something. And I've seen black men do this in my own neighborhood. Just the kid ain't even his, and he will take out both the kids and kind of raise them as his own. And I've seen black men time and time again not even get credit for those things. If you look at a lot of the NBA players, we could talk about a lot of them are coming out of single mother-led homes. Allen Iverson in the past, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, a lot of these guys, Michael Vick, Deion Sanders. Who are behind these guys? Who are the engines behind these guys? Some black men in their local communities went in to say, you know what, son, I'm going to go ahead on. Who was the quarterback at Ohio State? For Ted Ginn back in the day. What was his name? He played for the 40. He won the Heisman that year. He played for the 49ers.
That's not Brad Smith. That's not Brad Smith, is it?
No.
Brad Smith?
No. I'm trying to find another guy. Anyways, he played. Anyways, that particular dude, the quarterback that year, Ted Ginn Jr., his dad was the coach of the high school. They went to high school together. So
Mm-hmm.
this particular quarterback, and I forgot what his name was, but his mama wasn't even his father wasn't even in his life. And Ted Ginn's father said, "Listen, we want you to go ahead and basically, um, Troy Smith, that was his name. Troy, remember Troy
Troy.
Smith?
Troy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he took the boy in. Boy ended up winning the Heisman Trophy. It was a black father. Why do you think that when black men make these contributions, and you see them doing it all the time, they was doing it to my community, 100 black men. You see it especially back in the 90s and 80s, the Little League baseball, that was all black men doing that. Why don't these men get credit for these things when they are the ones teaching these brothers how to do these things?
I think there are deadbeat dads in the world. We can't
Oh
deny
yeah.
that. But I think there are far more people who are deadbeat boyfriends, deadbeat ex-boyfriends rather, who or I wish he was my boyfriend, but he's just a friend helping me out. So he's a deadbeat because he's taking care of my kids, but he ain't taking care of these sheets type of thing going on. Because these guys aren't gonna and you gotta take it. Brothers get put in a trick bag because if I'm there for the child, I gotta fight you. If I'm not there for the child, you know, you can say I'm a deadbeat, but you can put the child off on other people that you'll use the child that in the same way that they gotta fight to be with the child. So what winds up happening is unless these guys are sleeping with you ladies, because in the kid and you don't want to sleep with the single mother because the child's going to feel some type of way in the first place, which is going to cause another rift. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of this stuff winds up being people hating the fact that you can't raise a child and still be in a relationship with the mother, even if it's not your actual child with them.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody gets anything because even when you when it's a coach or a mentor, I hate to say it, but the kids normally kind of wish that the coach or the mentor would actually be with their mom so they can actually be in a stable situation.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what these guys do, you're stuck. You can't live your life until you basically sacrifice your life for this child. And part of sacrificing your life for this child is, could you be in a mercy relationship with my mama until I'm grown enough to get the heck up out of here because she killing
Mm-hmm.
me, bro. But if you
Mm-hmm.
get with her, you're evil because I heard you beating up my mama's walls and you don't really love me. You just here for the cookies. It's a no-win situation. You know,
Mm-hmm. What would be your
it's bad.
what would be your you want to say something?
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, no, no.
No, so let me kind of talk about this because I've been watching a lot of Kendra G lately. Obviously our brother Kevin Samuels has passed, but he kind of dealt with it on his show. And so there's a myriad of single mothers in the black community that are looking for eligible men to come in and take care of these kids that they have. And it's nothing against the children. Shout out to George Macon. He has Urban Nerds, and he tells me all the time that it's very difficult dealing with these people's parents, and he's trying to take kids to colleges and college tours and things like that. And when you look at what is the incentive, because obviously in the black community, because a lot of black men are just not respected for being black men, from a lot of women in general. Um, but I think if you're a stepfather, you even get less respect. And my question is for these brothers out there, what is the incentive? I mean, we know that fatherhood, there's a genetic incentive because it's your child. But is there any incentive for these black men to be in the stepfather role, in your honest opinion?
You can be a stepfather or a stepped on father. Most people wind up becoming a stepped on father.
Right?
Like you go to church and you find out Jesus' stepdaddy is X'd out of the Bible. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He was there. He took care of, Jesus sometimes, but man, get this fool up out of here, man. He ain't nobody. So it's biblical, okay? Being a
Yeah, that's true.
stepfather, stepped on father is biblical or ordained by God. Like, listen, I know he is stepdaddy, but I'm the daddy here, okay? That's my son, you know. So you can. I'm petty. Does anybody think Joseph got into heaven for being a stepdaddy?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
everybody else seemed like they was. That's the sad part about it, right? You could
Right.
go to the Bible. Joseph should have went to heaven if he was Jesus' stepdaddy, just on GP. But they just left Joseph. Hey man, he ain't man. Get this fool up out of here, man. Get this fool
Right.
up out of here. So, is there an incentive? If you got a good heart and you're doing it from a great place, and you don't mind that at the end of the day, you still might get stepped on and disrespected. You know, we both football fans, and I hate to bring this player up because they brought him up a lot of times. Eli Apple, the cornerback,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
New York Giants, I believe. I think New Orleans Saints, and he was in the Super Bowl with the Bengals, and they got on him and got on him. But people forget what made him kind of his play, quote unquote, go downhill, where it seemed like it started, was when his mom played his stepdaddy, and he wasn't feeling that, and he just and it's like his play dipped off from that. And I say that to say this: you're not gonna find, and guess what? People got on Eli for being sorry after that. So even if you are the kid and you riding with your stepdaddy who got stepped on, they're still not a win. The best example I could give is Shaq's dad.
Right.
That's the best example I could give.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and recently they said, after he passed, God rest his soul. Shaq always is complimentary. Shaq's mom told him, now you need your real dad is still alive. You need to go holler at him. And Shaq did. You know, you can't knock him, but it's like, dang, bro. You know, if anybody's watching social media, there's a guy that I love watching by the name of Bubba Dub. And Bubba Dub has this statement, trash. When stepdaddies get treated like trash.
Yeah.
Stepdaddy's gonna be rolling over in their grave. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, I love my stepdaddy. I took his name. Did you change that mug 10 years later if your stepdaddy do something you don't like? Trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like stepdaddies need a side chick. That's what stepdaddies need.
You know, as I've been, like I said, I don't have have kids myself, but it looks like what you're seeing now is that at least like in the '80s, in the '90s, you can see a woman getting married like 2 and 3 or 4 times in the black community. It was more common, I'm pretty sure it was the same way where you were from. You know what I'm saying? Now what you see is a lot of guys in the internet. Obviously, the world is much more open than it was when we was coming up. We were around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So, we only really was able to date people that was where we
Around the
lived.
corner.
And if you went to right, if you went to college, you got lucky. You could be able to experience something else. But now what you're seeing, especially a lot of black men, they're saying like, okay, I don't even want to be a biological father because of the other stuff that you might go through, which is like, child support, the potential to go to family court, stuff like that. And then you're seeing a lot of guys dealing, or at least toying with the option of not having kids at all, or then if they're going to do it, trying to do it overseas. There's a lack of interest from black men because many, like most black men, don't even have kids. There's a lack of interest for black men to want to be married or have kids. And I think that may have, because back in the 50s and 60s, like I was saying in one of my videos, my grandfather was born in 1918. He got more respect as a man in 1949 than I do in 2022. Most guys like me that hit the high profile, top 5% earning, professional school degree, and he was making maybe $200 or $300 a month at that time. And so you see that because of the disrespect from our community, men are just not participating in families, don't even want to think about that. Do you believe that if men got more respect from the women in our community, from the black community as a whole, it would be an incentive for black men to want to be fathers and kind of community builders again?
Absolutely, but it's not about the women. I think the
Okay.
disrespect comes more from these women's families. It's the
Mm-hmm.
elders who are disrespecting black men the most. It's
Mm-hmm.
the aunts and uncles and grandmothers and grandfathers who allow this kind of behavior, and they groom people to be cool with it. And and play this religious game. See, if you're in my same age group and you disrespect me, we gonna have an issue because I can thoroughly in God's name put my hands around your throat. But your grandmama and your granddad who are cool with you disrespecting me, knowing if we have a child together, they're comfortable with planting the seeds of distrust and hate and manipulation, and they're cool with that, and they're cool with being around. Because here's a part of the culture we don't talk about enough. You don't see two families, parents and grandparents, in the same room often.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's something that's changed because there was a time when your parents gonna be my parents, your grandparents gonna be meet my grandparents, and we gonna all have an understanding. So, but now you got guys who are basically quote unquote walking in the lines than a girlfriend, wives, parents' house, and their grandparent, their parents, and you're there, but your family isn't there. But see, they don't want your family to come there, so they can do their little disrespectful. Sometimes sometimes people are just checking you out, but if you got to know a person, the disrespect comes. But they're too cowardly to come to your house and meet your family. See, they can talk all that from the comfort of their little lazy boy, but they don't want to come sit on your lazy boy because they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to have that conversation with, what did you say about my grandson? What
Mm-hmm.
was that you told my son? You told him
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
That he what? See, the older generation is cowardly as I don't know what. And we've raised so many people who can be backbiting cowards that we now it's normal. So of course, the disrespect is on 9,000 because there's nobody to put hands on the 70-year-olds and the 60-year-olds and the 50-year-olds that are talking crazy, but like, I'm your elder. I got an elder too that they carry 22, and they're not gonna take this disrespect. So for me, that's where because the families could have shut a lot of this stuff down a long time ago. You remember who was that? I think it was Ayanna Van Zant when she had the Fix My Life show, and Gilbert Arenas' children's mother was on the show, and her parents were cool with the way she was trying to get money out of Gilbert because they were basically living off the money that he was giving her. That's what I'm talking about. That disrespect is what I'm talking about. Go ahead, girl, get him for $40,000 a month. Just kick me off, about $4,000. We good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, somebody could choke you with a piano wire for doing this. It's sad, but in all honesty, in our community was so unnecessary about this whole situation is the disrespect for Black men is so far that people get offended if we cuss them out for disrespecting us.
Absolutely. Say it again. That is so true. Say it again.
The disrespect has gone so far in our community that if we cuss people out for disrespecting us, they're offended by that. How dare you, not want to be disrespected? It's that far on autopilot. When you got somebody like Jim Jones going off about it, that should let you know how far on autopilot it is. People would say Jim Jones a thug, he's a gangster, he beating up people in public, he didn't probably kill somebody, but he got to argue with his kid's mother and their family about disrespect. We've gone to a place where, and I hope the community understands what I'm about to say. All bets are off on the response to disrespect, irregardless of gender or age. Because when you don't respect the men in your community,
right,
the men have no reason to respect you, protect you, provide for you, help you, because now everybody looks like an enemy.
Right.
All the way down from the grandparents to the children. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And just to be petty and be truthful, the only father / stepfather / mentor that we respect in the Black community is a white one. That's the only one.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Because if your daddy is white, or your stepdaddy is white, or your mentor is white, or your coach is white, your mama's in a slave and you're in a slave, and team up like super friends. So you can respect everything the white dude does.
That's true. Right.
We've seen it all the time with athletes and coaches.
Black coaches give them a bad time with the white one.
Yeah, they go from 15, they be 35 and retired and realize, man, them coaches never liked me. Bro, you done cussed out 20 years worth of Black coaches. Same thing with the mentors. Man, my mentor is this guy. Do a documentary. The white family that took me in fed me stovetop stuffing, and I love them to death to this day. Like, I hate to say it, but different strokes messed a lot of people up.
Yeah,
different strokes got more respect than Uncle Phil.
Yeah, Gary Coleman, that's true. The white dude on there.
Like,
Todd Bridges.
We're bad. Right. If you got a Black stepdaddy, he stepped on daddy. But if you got a white stepdaddy, he's zaddy daddy.
No, that's true.
It's just ridiculous.
That's true. That's definitely true. But guys, this is the Brother Peel. I'm gonna let Brother LAR go. We'll try to make one a little bit longer. Brother, tell them about your channel. Why they should subscribe to you there, brother.
LAR Movement on YouTube. You should subscribe to me because if you like the content, why not? You watching YouTube? I'm there. You there? Let's get it. Period. Stop playing. But we done.
Right. So subscribe to our brother, man. My brother is he's a good friend of mine. He's always been solid. He's a really talented creator, and I love him to death. I want to give him his flowers while he lives. So guys, check him out. First comment pinned at the top. We will try to have another show this week because I'm gonna be back on it though. Because I told man I've been flaking on LAU. I've been acting light skinned, but we're gonna be back though. And it is
Hold on.
2:18 in the morning right now. Or we were go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
When it comes to flowers, could we give O'Shea his flowers? Seriously, he's been the one of the dopest, smartest, networked with everybody, pioneers of this space to grow it, and we don't say thank you enough. So from me to you to the people that should be thanking you, thank you. So
I
that's all I
appreciate
got
it.
to say, bro.
Yeah, because these you don't get no black manosphere retirement check, player. Uh, but I do appreciate that. We're gonna continue to build it up, guys. But as you know, check him out in the first comment at the top, guys, and we'll be back. Peace out.